Hey there, it's Shauna, and today I am going to be sharing with you what our family has been up to for my daughter and I's birthday. We do share a birthday month, June. I'm in early June, and she's sort of early to mid-June. So we have had a very busy but very fun June so far. And we also celebrated Father's Day, of course. So it's kind of cool how we have an entire month where we just get to celebrate each other all month. So on this day is my birthday. I just turned 41. Oh my goodness, I can't believe I'm saying that. Anyway, this was on our way to Denver, and I was thrilled to see a rainbow on my birthday after a little rainstorm. We went to a little mom and pop dim sum place, which is what I request every year for my birthday, is dim sum. Grace was a little bit moody the whole time, but she did fine. I packed her a lot of snacks to keep her busy. And on our way home, she was super happy because we stopped by the library and got her favorite thing, books. The day after my birthday, we stopped by some place that made me very happy, the local nursery, and my husband got me a bunch of flowers to plant in our backyard. I got some Shasta daisies, some geraniums, a whole bunch of other things. And look at these gorgeous oriental poppies that the previous owners had established here before we moved in. Here's my husband. He's about to pull up some weeds for me. He's so good. Now, while Eric is doing that, I am going to be getting my arbor planters ready to put my trumpet vines in. And these are going to go to my butterfly garden. And right now I'm just going to be putting in some organic soil, and it's got a little bit of fertilizer in it as well, and I'm going to mix that with some old dirt that I've collected from just spent pots. As one of my favorite gardening YouTubers would say, you need to use what you got to get to where we're going. Or something like that. I really hope I didn't butcher that quote by her. Classic unpredictable Colorado weather. It's blazing hot now. But I'm going to continue my gardening chores with planting my 2 cute little chokeberries in my berry patch. So here you can see there's a bunch of raspberries that have already been established. And I'm going to plant the chokeberries right here in this little corner. So let's get started. The weeds here on our property are crazy because honestly we didn't do a whole lot of cleanup when we first moved in here last year because I was 9 months pregnant, and so things were pretty hectic around here, and our priorities of course were quite different. As you can see, working with this space can be quite tricky, but somehow it's getting done. Now I just have to dig through this really alkaline clay soil and get my chokeberry in there. To be honest with you, I bought these chokeberries back in January when they were buy one get one free. So they're really root bound. I had to cut an X in the root ball in order to loosen up the roots and get them established in the soil there. But here they are, and they already have little berries starting to grow on them, so that's pretty exciting. Now let's get the second chokeberry in the ground. Roll the mulch over and cut a hole in the lawn fabric and try to painstakingly dig through the clay soil. After the filming of this video, my husband did end up getting me a wonderful tool that has 2 different kinds of rakes or scrapers in order to loosen up the soil before I dig it, and it's been awesome. So now that both chokeberries are in the ground, let me just give you a quick little tour of this berry patch. Here are some of the raspberry bushes, and in between the gaps of where the raspberry bushes are, I'm going to put my blueberry bushes there that are right now in containers, and they're hanging in there. They've kind of got decimated by grasshoppers, but that's another story. Anyway, that was the berry patch, and now I'm going to be planting in my trumpet coral or honeysuckle or whatever you want to call them into the arbor planters, and this will be again for my butterfly garden. This is my little mini herb container garden. I'm just planting in some English lavender along with some thyme and some cilantro. So now I'm just going to prune back the lavender, clean it up a bit, and harvest some of the herbs for my birthday lunch. Now that I am 41 years old, I can look back on the past year, my first year in my 40s, and there's quite a difference. For me, every adult birthday I ever had, people would ask me, "So do you feel any different?" And I would, for the most part, say, "No, it doesn't feel any different. It feels like any other day. I feel great. I still feel very young." But something about turning 40, a switch turns on, and you do feel different, at least for me. On my 40th birthday last year, I was 9 months pregnant, and 2 weeks after I turned 40, I gave birth to my daughter. And so I really didn't have time or space in my mind and heart to really think about what it felt like to be 40. I was so focused on being a new mama, preparing for birthing, and all of the things that comes with having your first baby. But then, let me tell you how I woke up differently for this birthday. Not only did I wake up with aches and pains, very different aches and pains from my pregnancy aches and pains when I turned 40, but just this general feeling of, wow, my body just does not hold up to lots of activity and going and doing as much as before. It's one of the few downsides of waking up 41 for me. But one of the many, many plus sides is I woke up just feeling so comfortable in my own skin, even more so than I was in my 30s. Best way I could describe that feeling is quiet confidence or quiet strength. I have absolutely nothing to prove to anyone. I'm just me, and it's all about my walk with God and growing in humility, growing in wisdom, and growing deeper in love and understanding and marvel at the gospel, which is quite amazing to me, the way God has his mighty hand upon my life and is just such a gentleman in my walk with him, in the way that he's growing me and being patient with me, because I'm a new mom in my early 40s, and yet at this point in my life, I find that I am leaning on God so much more now than ever before, and realizing my complete weakness compared to our infallible, limitless God, and my utter dependence on him every moment. And I think that is because I feel so responsible for this precious little life that God's blessed my husband and I with. I want to shepherd and steward what God's given me in our home and our precious little daughter in a way that glorifies and honors him in the best way humanly possible. And here is the finished Hong Kong style sponge cake, and true to Hong Kong style birthday cakes, it's got fresh fruit on top. I made a little 4x4 tiny cake for Grace and a larger 8x8 one for the adults, but not everybody had cake because we were planning on having just 12 people at the party, and somehow it turned into 47 people. Yeah. We were initially going to invite just family and close friends from church, and then it turned into our neighbors inviting themselves over, and Eric's colleagues from his business, more friends from church, my mommy friends, and their little babies that are Grace's age. And so it turned into a real party, and it was awesome. Everyone had lots of fun and was talking about it for weeks.
Okay, so we sing happy birthday?
Ready?
Yes. Okay.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Gracie. Happy birthday to you. Yay! Blow. 1, 2, 3. Blow.
I'll put your little auto thing.
Thank you.
Yeah. I was telling Alice she painted the
Yeah? Oh, boy. They know what that is. She's nuts.
That's true. That's true.
Beer? She needs a tarp on here.
Do you like your cake?
Uh-oh, that's garbage now.
Now, because the cake that she had was so light in sugar, she didn't have much of a sugar high after everyone left the birthday party, but she was super happy and just had such a good old time. And she went down for her nap and slept for a good 4 hours. In fact, we all took a 4-hour nap after everybody left the party, and when we woke up, we opened presents, and we ended the day with a nice dinner. The day of Grace's actual birthday, we took her to the aquarium for the first time, and she enjoyed herself, I think. She was extremely observant, taking everything in, and keeping in line with the theme of her birthday, I love you like no otter, we saw real live otters playing around. They were so cute. Although the aquarium wasn't too big, there were a lot of awesome things to see, like this real whale fossil, lots of different huge fish. You could hear Grace saying, "Wow," in the background here in a sec.
Yeah. Okay, baby.
Oh, here we are trying to take a family selfie. Now this would probably be a great opportunity to make a little mini announcement here. As a very excited new parent, I have included my daughter in several of my videos here, but that is going to change from here on. After lots of prayer and consideration lately, my husband and I decided that we would like to refrain from showing our daughter's face on future videos now that she's turned 1, for a variety of reasons that I won't get into here, but suffice it to say that in future videos, if Grace does show up, her face will be blurred. And I thank you ahead of time for respecting and understanding that. Hopefully this will initiate a major shift off of my daughter and even on my family specifically, and more so keep the focus on biblical encouragement as well as encouragement and my learning process of being a Christian homemaker, parent, and eventually homeschooler, all under God's grace, which is originally what I created this channel for. Now, on to the remaining content of this video.
Oh, look at these. So pretty. Yeah. Look. Ooh. Hello.
So I hope you enjoyed this June recap of Grace and I's birthday, and I'll see you in the next video.